emotion, and as the child emotion is named, the child can just learn how to handle it. So helps the parent validate before correcting. Next. So normalize the emotional check-ins, ask about parent-child conversations, offer quick empathy training tips to the parents that we can do in our clinics. Next. So just remember that empathy is teachable. So if at all you have not empathized the child or empathized the situation, it's not that you can never. You can start doing it at any time and empathizing the child, and you can build beautiful relationship of trust and trueness. And the pediatricians can be empathy mentors. Next. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for
Hello.
elaborating empathy very well. Excellent role play by Dr. Drupti and Shama ma'am. Congratulations on that. Now we will move on to Dr. Sadachar to know more about the emotional literacy skills. Dr. Sadachar,
Yes.
over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Reena. Actually, there was a technical glitch. I think now I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm just in short. I'm going to talk about emotional literacy. Actually, it's a very lengthy subject, but in simple words, it's the power of naming your feelings. So this is just being a literate for your own emotions. Next slide, please. These are the 4 steps how the emotional literacy works. Being aware of emotions you are experiencing. Second step, understanding why you might be feeling in this particular emotion. And the third step, that's just now that the ma'am was telling about empathy, is empathetic stage, that understanding and taking into account the feelings of others, that is empathy, and adjusting your responses accordingly. And the most important final step being the knowing the most effective way to express the feelings and being able to put into proper action, that is a constructive action in opposing to destructive one. So I will just narrate some of the examples of emotional literacy in self-awareness, and it includes self-awareness. First step, recognizing and naming the emotions. Basically, this is very important step, that you need to recognize exactly what you are feeling. Meaning, if I am stuck in my project anywhere, I should I can name it rather than being annoyed or in different reacting in different violent way. I can say that I am little bit frustrated. I feel so frustrated because of the problem in my project work, so that I can say to myself, understanding the physical sensations associated with emotions. This is again a very important point, as now being this the trauma therapy is being propagated in many fields. So physical sensations of emotions, say for if I am feeling anxious, there is a palpitations. So if I am feeling meaning that's the physical sensations. Recognize physical sensations are very important. Then the third step, knowing your emotional trigger. Say if I am being constantly being supervised by my boss, or something being constantly being validated by me, then definitely there is a problem of meaning one can develop the one can identify that trigger, that I am being constantly supervised, and there develops the distrust, or we can say the resentment at the workplaces. So knowing the emotional trigger and trying to solve or trying to modify that emotional trigger, that is also important. And the second steps are self-regulation, using calming techniques like counting numbers, concentrating on breathing, then choosing appropriate responses. This is another very critical point in emotional literacy. Like what do you mean by responses? Responses meaning it can be active listening to the opposite individual who is making statements, and also the validating of that emotions. That is, whatever the statements being made by that person, you need to validate and then express your own opinions. So that creates a more sound communication. and delaying gratification. This is very important in nowadays the adolescent boys and who are staying in hostels. Say if they have delaying gratification is the delaying the urge, meaning immediate urge, which is not going to benefit them in the long term, like socializing in the face of exams. One can who is the student who is emotionally literate can hold himself and give more time to the studies than rather than wasting time in socializing. This is a simple example of delayed gratification. Now, this is the Plutchik's wheel of emotions, and emotional literacy can be best correlated with this Plutchik's wheel. Plutchik's wheel was developed by the Robert Plutchik, the psychologist, a famous psychologist, and he has uh, given the basic 8 emotions in this. Next slide, please. Plutchik wheel of emotions is a model created by psychologists. It offers simple yet powerful way to understand the range and complexity of human emotions. And many times it's difficult to know exactly what we are feeling. Many times we are confused. So Plutchik designed his wheel to show how emotions are connected, how they interact with each other, and making it easier for us to understand and label it and what we feel actually. So it's at core there are 8 emotions: joy, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, disgust, anger, and anticipation. Now, what are the key aspects of this Plutchik wheel? I just said that there are 8 primary emotions, and there are, in this wheel, these opposing emotions are placed opposite to each other in these 8 emotions. And we can see that in the detail in that Plutchik wheel. Intensity of emotions increases as we approach the center from the periphery. The intensity levels are increased as we approach from the, and there is a combination of emotions diets we can make, like joy and trust. If we combine these 2 primary emotions, we can have a more complex emotion of love. Then even surprise and sadness that can go to the disappointment. So these are the examples of combining the emotions, and of course, the this Plutchik will use idea regarding mostly the emotional literacy, then regulation of emotions. Of course, the more sound communication, constructive communication, and the most important is the conflict resolution after all these steps. So my question was how it can be in our regular OPD visits. My main message to the all pediatricians, we definitely can make children literate about their own emotions. So introduction of emotional literacy to children and parents will be of great help. And definitely they will be able to manage their emotions, navigate themselves in a more constructive way to take beneficial decisions for their lives. Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sadachar. So when it comes to anger, what is the application of emotional literacy skills? So anger is a secondary emotion, and beneath
Yeah.
anger, there lies many underlying unaddressed and difficult emotions like frustration, shame, guilt, fear, rejection, disappointment. So
Yes.
identifying these emotions, naming these emotions so as to tame them, tame their intensity, so as to prevent the
Mm.
further cascade of unwanted anger is very important with
Yeah.
respect to emotions. Yes, over to you, Dr. Reena, for the next question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sadasha, Dr. Tripti. Emotional intelligence, also known as emotional quotient, is ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in a positive way. To know more about the emotional quotient, let's invite our next panelist, Dr. Subha Pawar. Over to you, Dr. Subha.
Yeah, thank you, Reena. Am I audible?
Yes.
You are audible.
Yeah. Good afternoon to one and all here. I must pay gratitude towards Women's Pediatricians Forum as well as Maharashtra Adolescent Health Academy for giving me this opportunity. Now I am giving a brief account of emotional intelligence and using the skills, how to use them. Here we are saying there should be connection between the heart and the mind, and that connection lies with the emotions. Yes, Trupti? As already told by Trupti, emotional intelligence, the term was coined first by Peter Solvay and John Mayer in 1990s, and later on, a lot of work has been done on this by Daniel Goleman. His he has created so much influential work that we are doing everything by getting all his work done here. Next. Here I am trying to explain various emotional intelligence skills by using the Goleman's model of emotional intelligence, and it includes main basic 5 realms. As already told by Shama ma'am and Sadachar sir, the first one is knowing your emotions. Second is how to manage your emotion. Then how to motivate yourself to take a good decision about your emotions. Recognize and understand other person's emotions as well. And how to manage the relationship, how to manage the other's emotion. These 5 realms can be broken down into 4 main quadrants as self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Next, please. So in these 4 quadrants, we can see the recognition of emotion and regulation, how to recognize and how to regulate. About the personal competence, we can see here the self-confidence, awareness about our emotions, our weaknesses, and our strength. Recognize how our behavior will impact the others and pay attention to how others influence your emotional state as well. So how to regulate it? By keeping disruptive emotions and impulses in check, acting in a congruence with your values. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Am I audible? Yeah.
You are
Acting
audible,
in
Shilpa.
congruence with your values, handling the handling the change and flexibility always, and pursuing your goals and opportunities despite the obstacles and setbacks in your life. So we have to deal with the social emotions now. The social awareness, how picking up on the mood of the persons in the room or your surroundings, caring about the others, what all others are going through, and hearing what other person is really saying. So we have to be an active listener first. So how we have to manage the relationship, getting along with the others first, handling the conflicts effectively, and clearly expressing the ideas or information what we want to convey actually, and using the sensitivity to another person's feelings, that is empathy, to manage the interactions successfully. Next, please. So your mind is always programmable at the start of life as well as at the more than the age of 90s also. And if you are not programming it correctly, then someone else will program it for you. So we have to mind our emotions first. Next, please. See, we can see here a person with a low emotional intelligence and a person with a high emotional intelligence. The low emotional intelligence person are always aggressive, demanding, egotistical, bossy, and confrontational. But a person with a high emotional intelligence are always assertive, ambitious. They're having a driving force always. They are strong-willed and they are decisive. They are ready to accept everything from you, and then they will take the decisions. A person with a low intelligence gets easily distractible. They are glib. They want to convey you something, but not the actual thing. They are selfish. They are poor listener, and they are always impulsive. But a person with high emotional intelligence is always warm, enthusiastic, is sociable, is charming, and persuasive. The person with a low emotional intelligence is resistant to change, is always passive, is always unresponsive, is very slow to react, and is stubborn in nature. But a person with high emotional intelligence is always having patience. He is stable, he is predictable, he is always consistent with his all activities or tasks, and first of all, he is a good listener. While the low emotional intelligence person is always having critical thinking about others, he will not think normally. He is always picky, fussy, and very hard to please, and is very perfectionist. But a person with high emotional intelligence is having a detailed knowledge, is know how to convince the others, is always careful about others, he is meticulous in doing his task, is systematic, and is always neat with himself as well as the others. Next, please. So here I am going to demonstrate one mindfulness technique to deal with the difficult emotions when your mind is fully overwhelmed with the emotions and you don't know how to take the decisions. You can take this small slide in action in all your areas of life. This is the RAIN technique developed to recognize your emotions. So it starts with recognition, attenuation, or allowing the emotion, then investigating and nurturing or keeping it neutral. So first, whenever some problem arises in your life, recognize what is the actual problem, from where it starts, why it has occurred, and how we can deal with it. Then let that problem or that feeling should be there, that emotion should be there with you for some time. Just analyze it subjectively. Then you can investigate it truly with the kind. What do I do? Why I am feeling like this? Observe our feelings and thoughts. Pay attention to where in your body you're feeling this emotion, why you're feeling this emotion. And then take the decision subjectively. Change or just separate that emotion from your own body and mind. Say, remind yourself that you are not the feeling and you are not defined by your emotions. Recognize that what you are feeling is temporary, that emotional will go away with the time, and you will eventually, this time will pass. So, from this recognizing rain technique, that is recognizing your emotions, allowing your emotions to be there for some time so that you can investigate it thoroughly to take a proper decision and nurture it in a neutral way, subjectively, to overcome any overwhelming feeling and to overcome any problem in your life successfully. You need this rain technique. It helps in all corners of your life. Next, I'm completing my answer with this quote: between the stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This quote is given by Viktor Frankl. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sulba, for such a fantastic elaboration about EQ skills. EQ skills, they are like building blocks of emotional intelligence. And what I think that nurturing these EQ skills regularly, time to time, is very crucial so as to enhance the process of emotional intelligence. Now, let us proceed further with very interesting term called as emotional hijack, which is coined by again by Daniel Goleman, and that means that your emotions take the wheel before our brain gets the chance to take the steer. And of course, this is very dangerous because during emotional hijack, person tends to react impulsively. What happens during the hijack situation? There is a temporary cognitive shutdown which disconnects us from the empathy, from compassion, from self regulation, and very important from logical thinking. So the process can be harmful in many ways. But the good news is this can be prevented and navigated well just by taking a simple 6-second pause. So, what Dr. Sulba rightly posted that between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose our response. So, my next question to our next esteemed panelist, Dr. Suchit Tambori, sir, will you enlighten us about emotional hijack and how to navigate that 6-second pause so as to respond and not to react? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Trupti. And at the outset, I must thank Women Pediatricians Forum and Dr. Sangeeta Lodha Madam for giving this opportunity. And this is very interesting that we must understand what is emotional hijack, which is also called as amygdala hijack, because when faced with the perceived threat or strong emotion, the amygdala, which is a part of the brain, is associated with the emotion and survival instinct, can trigger a rapid automatic response, which is often labeled as fight, flight, or freeze. So, most important is that this response, also known as amygdala hijack, can lead to impulsive reaction that may not be in line with your goal or best interest. Means it is not that you will react in a proper way. So that also can happen. But amygdala activates this fight or flight response without any initiative from you. Means you are not you have not planned that, or maybe this is very automatic response. So when that part of your brain senses danger, it signals your brain to pump stress hormones and preparing your body to either fight for the survival or flee to the safety. Next. So the symptoms which we get after the amygdala hijack, we should know what happens actually in that. So the symptoms of amygdala hijack are caused by body's chemical response to the stress. And when you experience stress, your brain releases two kinds of stress hormone, cortisol and adrenaline. So both of these hormones, which are released by the adrenal gland, prepare your body to fight or to flee. Together, these stress hormones do a number of things to your body in response to stress. What they do? They increase blood flow to muscle, so you have you have more strength and speed to fight or flee. Then they expand, actually, this is very important point, that they expand your airways so that you can take in and use more oxygen. Then they increase blood sugar to provide you immediate energy. They dilate pupils to improve your vision for faster responses. So this is very important, that all these two hormones definitely helps in coping with the hijack. Next. So what are the symptoms which we get due to that? So when these hormones are released, you may experience rapid heartbeat, you may have sweaty palms or clammy skin or goosebumps on the surface of your skin, and amygdala hijack may lead to inappropriate or irrational behavior. That is very important. So after an amygdala hijack, you may experience that other symptoms like embarrassment or regret. So you may feel that, okay, I should have done like that, or I should have done like this. So that is there. Next. So what are the technique to stop amygdala hijack? So it is very important that reasoning, once you have calmed your emotion response, you can use reasoning and logic to think through your situation. So this way you have option for how you will respond, and you can pick the one that best suits the situation, not one that fulfills an emotional reaction. And mindfulness, use meditation or control breathing to focus your body's energy, and this will help you respond to threat or stress in a peaceful way. So it will help you stop amygdala hijack so that you can retain control. So actually, you can name the emotion. Then we are going to see the 6-second rule, breathing. Actually, I usually tell the story of the two best friends, and one of the friend actually started with the some classes, and she did not tell her best friend that she is going to some class. So the other friend was very angry, and then she actually want to slap her. But then after few seconds of thinking, she said, okay, she has done that mistake, but it is not the mistake where I should slap her. Okay, I will just think over it. After a few minutes, she think that, okay, that maybe there must be some points from her point also. So she thought that, okay, so she started thinking in a different fashion whenever the time passes away. So that is very important. So reasoning and mindfulness, both are very important techniques to stop amygdala hijack. Next. So, what is 6-second pause? Actually, this 6-second pause was told by our great grandmother, because when we used to have anger, what grandmother was telling us, अरे आप 1 से 10 गिनो, या फिर कुछ ऐसे सिटी के नाम 10 ले लो, या भगवान के नाम ले लो, फिर आपका जब आपको ये हो जाएगा कि जैसे कि ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप जब भी एंग्री होते हो तो आपको 6-second पॉज हमें हमारी दादी ने नानी ने सिखाया है. So this 6-second pause now has come as an institute from US, and they are telling us to obey the things. But we are using this since very long time in India. So the core idea is that chemicals which are associated with intense emotion only last for about 6 seconds before they start to dissipate. So by intentionally pausing for 6 seconds, you interrupt this cascade of emotional chemical and create an opportunity for your prefrontal lobe cortex, the rational part of your brain, that is prefrontal cortex, to come online. And this pause allows you to evaluate the situation, consider your option, and choose a more conscious and constructive response rather than reacting solely based on the emotion. So I have told you that 6 favorite colors, 6 favorite foods. So that we already know from our this thing, whatever we have got our this thing. So actually, next slide, please, ma'am. How to use 6-second pause? So we can use 6-second pause by recognizing the trigger. So be aware of the situation of the trigger that tend to evoke strong emotional responses. Take a deliberate pause. So count to 6 slowly. Take a few deep breaths or focus your attention on something external to the situation, like your surrounding or counting backwards. So engage your rational brain. Ask yourself questions like what I'm feeling, what are my goals in this situation, or what is the most effective way to respond. Respond with intention. So based on your evaluation, choose a response that aligns your goals and values. Next. So you must use 6 seconds pause with a proper technique. And what benefits you are going to get? You are going to get benefits like improved emotional regulation, which will help you to manage intense emotion and prevent impulsive reaction. So suppose you are traveling, you got catch in a traffic jam, and you are very angry. I need to go to the office in time and all. But when you know that your boss is angry and he gave you memo, and the next day what you are going to do, either you are going to start 10 minutes early or you are going to go with the another different road. So it is definitely that your emotional regulation is very important. So preventing impulsive reaction and better decision making. So allows more thoughtful and strategic choices, stronger relationships. So promotes more constructive communication and conflict resolution. So increased self-awareness like provides an opportunity to understand your emotion pattern and trigger, reduce stress and anxiety by interrupting the emotional cascade, and you can lessen the intensity of your feeling and promote a sense of calm. The 6-second pause is a simple yet very powerful tool for the developing emotional intelligence and responding to challenging situation with greater awareness and control. So I think this is very important. 6 seconds pause, and you should start from today whenever you get angered. Thank you very much.
For making us aware, amygdala hijack is more dangerous than the brain hijack, as it controls our brain and our responses.
Yes,
And
yes.
definitely, 6-second pause technique, we need to practice and do it repeatedly to learn more. To move further, anger triggers and dynamics. Anger triggers body's fight or flight responses. Other emotions that trigger this response include fear, anxiety, and excitement. To know more about the aggravating factors and triggers, let's invite our next panelist, Dr. Shama ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Anger triggers, if we know about the triggers, then it's better to identify what is making the adolescent angry. And then we can help the parents and the child to manage the emotions and control the situations. So the child may suddenly get annoyed, frustrated, irritated, and the child starts throwing tantrums, and the parents don't know what to do. The child is aggravated, the child is behaving in a mad manner, and the child is just behaving very abnormally. The child is making them embarrassed, and the parents are just stuck up. They don't know what to do in such a situation. So, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you. So, please, next slide, please. Next, please. Yes. So, what are the aggravating factors? The basic cause of anger is the obstruction in the path in behavior. So, to some extent, anger is essential. Everyone tells that you should not be angry, just control your anger. It's very bad to be angry, but it's not like that. Due to anger, we find out solutions, we find out new ways, we find out alternatives, and we are going to face adverse situations. So the child should also learn these things, that all the time it is not going to be everything good for him. The child may have to face adversities, and the child should be able to find out the alternative ways to handle the situation. But the expression of anger, the utilization of energy of anger decides whether it is constructive or destructive. And the child should learn how to manage it. To be angry is okay, but the child should know how to use, how to react, how to act in this situation. Next, please. So, what are the triggers of anger? Everyone says that, adults say, parents say that we are having stress. We are giving everything to the child. The child is getting paid for fees and the best school and best tuition class and branded clothes and whatnot. So child is being given everything. So what stress is there? But it's not like that. But nowadays, in this era, the adolescents are the most stressed population. The child may be stressed for study. The child may be stressed because of competition, because of rat race, or there can be abuse, verbal, physical, or sexual abuse can be there in his life. There can be the abusive relationship, or there can be disturbed relationship, or the child may be treated unfairly by somebody in some competition or in the classroom or by friends, or there may be unfair treatment at the home. The child may be feeling that child is not given justice, or the child may be in the role of avoidance. The child knows that child didn't study properly, and there are not going to be good results, good marks, or there may be failure. And to avoid the parental punishment and anger, the child himself or herself start throwing tantrums and makes the situation worse, so that parents are afraid of the getting angry with the child for the result. And this is how the child tries to avoid the situation. Or the child may be having some inferiority complex. The child might be feeling insignificant in the situation. No one is giving importance to the child, and the child is throwing tantrums. Or there can be sibling rivalry. The younger one is being given more attention, or there is a special child in the family and that child is given more attention. Or there can be attention seeking type of behavior. The child is used to that type of behavior. The child wants mobile and the child just starts throwing tantrums, and the parents finally fulfill the wish of the child. And at times it is genetical. Everyone in the family is getting angry, and the child is used to getting angry, and the child doesn't know how to handle the situation. And at times there can be continuous irritation or stressful situation, or there is intimidation, frustration, and many more things. Or there can be conditioning. The situation is the same, and the child doesn't know how to behave in another way, and the child starts reacting in the same way. So this is how the child reacts for each and every situation, and there are anger issues. Next, please. So this is how there is a negative event, and the child becomes angry. There is anger episode, and there is a demand to change the environment, but there is resistance by the environment. No one else changes. Everyone reacts in the same situation. A pattern is set that child reacts in one way, and parents react in the same way, or teachers react in the same way, or the friends react in the same way. And then there is increased pain and confusion and stress, and then again there is negative event, and there is more anger. So this is the vicious cycle, and the child cannot face the situation and becomes angry and more angry. Next, please. So dynamics, what is the dynamics of anger? We become more angry when we are stressed and body resources are down. So we are rarely angry for the reason we think. At times we think that because of this we are angry, but it's not like that. No, because of some old trauma, old situation, we recall that situation, and we imagine that this is going to be like that only, and the anger increases and we end up into anger. So there are traits and in others which we cannot stand, and we are used to the same situation, and then one gets angry. Next, please. So there can be old disappointments, traumas, and triggers, and those prior disappointments may lead to anger, even if the current situation is not that bad. Sometimes, because of childhood trauma, childhood hurt, we just recall that and get angry without any reason, or it can bring unresolved situation from the past and often have strong emotion because of that, and just spoken wrong words, and that can worsen the situation. Next, please. So there are triggers which cause reaction to disruptive stimulus that causes habit. And then there is a belief that I am this sort of person and I am going to be like that and I am not going to change. Swabhavala aushad nahi. No one can change the way of behavior, and low frustration tolerance. So inappropriate expectation of the others, or guilt of situation. The out of guilt also someone can become angry, and lack assertiveness or fear. Out of fear also sometimes someone can get angry, and underlying stress. Next, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your elaboration on triggers of angers. I think it is very important to understand these triggers and dynamics of anger, because we should know from where that emotion is arising. And when it comes to children, identifying triggers is very challenging in those situations, as anger is often perceived as negative or unwanted emotion. But is it always true? Is anger always damaging and destructive force? Or does its impact depend on the way it is expressed? And can it become positive force and constructive emotion? So my next question to Dr. Sadachar Uzramkar sir, is anger good, bad, negative, positive? What role anger plays in our emotional health? Over to you, Dr. Sadachar. Dr. Sadachar, are you there?
Hello, I'm audible now?
We can.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
It's going to be a very interesting discussion and going on. I think those who are interested in emotional intelligence must be enjoying a lot. As Shama madam has rightly told the various characteristics of anger, the anger itself is neither good or bad, we can say, but it happens. It doesn't, it is not it is a emotion. Anger is an emotion. Anger, it's for a short time. And as we are learning today by AI skills, we can definitely control it. So anger is an emotion. It is a threat activated neurophysiological arousal response to various triggers and situations. And anger is valid, and many times it's useful emotion. Not always it should be taken in a negative way. Anger demands that problems need to be solved similar, uh, meaning that itself creates a demand in the situation that whatever problems in front, that should be solved in an immediate manner or whatever way, in constructive way. So it is similar to the fear, as the fear is warns us about the danger. Similar to the anger goes in constructive way also. The way of handling it decides whether it is productive anger or destructive anger. So let us go to the next slide, the positive impacts of anger. The motivation for change. Anger can be a catalyst for positive changes, motivating people to fight injustice, in turn advocating for their rights for better life. Then it can be a problem solver also. It can drive oneself to find solutions to a problem situation and make positive changes. And most importantly, it goes to self-discovery. That is a separate topic basically, but I have just narrated in one line. One can identify own values and boundaries. If one person goes in a experience of extreme anger, and if he faces that consequences of that, then definitely when he introspects himself, he can find, he can identify the values which he has crossed the boundaries, and his own values also. And otherwise, what would have happened? What would have happened in a more constructive way if that uh, type of response if not given by me? That is the self-discovery. This happens in when the person experiences extreme kind of anger. Then energy and focus. Anger provides burst of energy and focus, particularly when addressing a perceived threat or injustice. Then I will go to the negative impacts of the anger. If you can see in this picture, see the how that person has been constricted his all the muscles. How is constricted his fist? How just a picture can say how the negative effects can be. So the mental and physical health is affected badly. Uncontrolled anger can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and as you all know, cardiac elements in chronic cases. Relationship issues, it can damage the relationship very badly. And if it is expressed, if it is anger is expressed in not non-constructive way, it can have lead to the conflicts and even resentment. And decision making, anger can cloud judgment and lead to illogical wrong decisions with negative consequences. And the self-destructive behaviors can also be lead by, that is a negative effect, self-harm, substance abuse, suicidal thoughts, suicidal efforts, that can also happen. And in nutshell, what I will say, that anger is the ultimate slavery if it is handled in a negative way. But at the same time, anger can lift an individual to such a powerful position that if it is utilized in a constructive way, as the famous say Adhyatmic person Vaman Pai has said in Maharaj Tuja Jivanatsa Shilpakar, that you are the creator of your own destiny. Same thing happens with the anger. If you handle it in a proper way, you can definitely be in a more constructive position. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sadasha. As you rightly said, anger is a double-edged weapon, and it's up to us how to use it, constructive or destructive. To know further how to express our anger, because psychologists often say we are defining and expressing anger in three ways. In passive aggressive, in that one ignores its anger and keep on building that anger. In aggressive, it bursts, and in assertive, which is the most correct way to express our anger. So let's know the assertive and constructive way to express our anger from our Dr. Sangeeta Lodha. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Reena, for the question, how to express anger and avoid conflict. Next slide. Yeah, anger expression methods. So first, I'll just tell you, anger is a normal feeling. However, assertive expression of anger can be healthy and productive. Aggressive expressions may be harmful to yourself and others as well. The safe and healthy expression of our angry feelings through active, emotionally proactive techniques help us to regain function assertively and rationally. We are then able to get our needs met assertively without hurting others. Always acknowledge your feelings. That is very important. Acceptance is very important part. Name the feeling. It may be mild irritation to fury. Need to express the stimulus that is triggering the response. Communicate assertively. Get it out. Assertively venting out anger on objects is not recommended at all. Take a time out. Means the 6-second pause or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, so many techniques are there. Just give a 6-second pause is very important. Use a rational approach to rethink, reframe, and reason in your mind that was going on and why you became angry. What is assertiveness? So practice being straight and honest about your feelings. Explore other feelings. Behind other feelings may be hurt, rejection, fear, vulnerability, etc. These are often more difficult to access. Anger letter. Write an uncensored letter expressing your anger to one person about whom you have angry feelings. Do not mail or show this letter to that person. But if suppose you just write down your problems, why you are angry with that person, even in a very methodical, systemic way, I am just giving you 100% assurance that your anger will go down to a limit towards that person. And another very important thing is anger journaling. What is anger journaling? Anger journaling is therapeutic practice that involves writing down your thoughts and emotions related to anger in the structured or free-form way. It's a healthy outlet for processing anger rather than letting it build up or explode. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. So basically, the take home here is expressing anger in constructive and healthy way is very important to manage it effectively to have productive outcome. And there is one very meaningful shloka in Bhagavad Gita regarding the psychological chain of reactions of unchecked or uncontrolled anger. And the shloka says, Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bhranshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. That means from anger arises delusion, from delusion comes loss of memory leads to loss of intelligence, and when there is loss of intelligence, the person is ruined. Anger leads to distractions. So, my dear friends, seniors, and colleagues, learning and practicing anger management skills is very important. And I request our senior panelist, Dr. Suchit Tambori sir, to enlighten us the different anger management skills. Over to you, Dr. Suchit Tambori. Tambori sir, are you there? Yeah.
Can you heard now?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And actually, Tripti, your shloka was very appropriate and very nice. Actually, this is very important that anger can destroy you, and by which way is very well explained. So I think they have thought of about anger so many years back in our culture. So that is very important. So actually, there are many methods. Actually, madam has told about that. Next slide, please. So, what are the actually techniques which we can use? So, relaxation technique is the technique which we can help to reduce physical tension and arousal, and which can lead to decrease in anger. So, actually, relaxation technique include deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and visualization. So that is also very important. Then cognitive restructuring. What is cognitive restructuring? These skills involve challenging and changing negative thoughts and beliefs that contribute to anger. So for example, instead of thinking this always happening to me, you could think that this is just one time thing. So it is very important that you should not blame always to the situation, and you should be always think negatively. Next slide. So then you should think, actually cognitive restructuring is very important because you have to think in other way. That is very important. So cognitive communication skill is again very important. Learning to communicate your needs and your fear. Actually you should also means feelings which are there in a clear and assertive way. So you can help to reduce anger as well as conflict. And this includes being able to say no, express disagreement, and set boundaries. So here it is very, very important that expressing and saying no. No is very important skill which everyone should master, and saying no and the actually appropriate ways of saying no is very important to teach to the adolescent. So problem solving skills, being able to identify and solve problems is very important and can help to reduce anger as well as frustration. And this includes being brainstorm solutions as well as evaluate options. And actually here it is very important to remember that all these skills, next slide please. Next. So next, actually all these skills definitely help our anger management to become a proper productive skill. And there are other skills like timeout, where taking a break from a situation when you are feeling angry help to give time to calm down and collect your thoughts. Here very important factor I want to tell you. Many mothers in our OPD tells that अरे ये बहुत गुस्सा करता है, या फिर ये बोलता है कि पापा तो जमदग्नि का अवतार है, वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम उनका ज्यादा ही है। लेकिन ये किसने उनको जमदग्नि बनाया या किसने वो बच्चे को एंग्री बनाया, इसका अगर सोचेंगे तो वो एक्चुअली मम्मी रहती है या फिर वो एनवायरनमेंट रहता है जो इनको ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस देता है। तो अगर आपने ऐसे किया कि टाइम आउट टेक्निक यूज किया, तो उस जब वो एंग्री होता है तो उससे कोई बात नहीं करेगा, नो पॉजिटिव फीडबैक, नो निगेटिव फीडबैक, जो देने जैसी चीज हो, जो करने जैसी चीज हो तुरंत कर डालो, नहीं का मतलब नहीं समझने दो, और जब वो मांगता है और वो नहीं देना है तो नहीं का मतलब नहीं समझने दो, और एक ने नहीं बोलने के बाद सबने नहीं बोलना है। और जब वो टेंट्रम थ्रो करता है तब सबने शांत बैठने का, किसी ने कुछ नहीं बोलने का। और जब वो 15-20 मिनट के बाद में नॉर्मल पे आता है, तो नॉर्मल पे आने के बाद में किसी ने ऐसे नहीं बोलने का, अरे तू इतना अच्छा लड़का, तू ऐसे क्यों कर रहा था, वैसे क्यों कर रहा था, कोई बोलना नहीं है। अगर ये टाइम आउट का टेक्निक का प्रॉपर अगर वापर किया जाएगा तो डेफिनेटली within 3 months that anger or tantrums get controlled. So exercise, it is very important. Physical activity is a great way to release stress and tension, and it can help in to reduce anger. Healthy lifestyle habit like getting enough sleep, getting healthy food, and avoiding alcohol and drugs also help to improve mood and reduce anger. Next step.
One
Next.
second. Yeah, the slides are happening. Yeah.
So actually examples of how you can use the anger management skills. So relaxation technique, if you feel yourself getting angry, then actually what you have to do is try to take some deep breath or focus on relaxing your muscle. So you can also try visualizing a calming scene or repeating a calming mantra. Actually what our grandmother used to say, ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो, ये बोलो, वो बोलो, तो उसकी वजह से भी शांत हो जाते हैं। So cognitive restructuring, if you find yourself having a negative thoughts that are contributing to your anger, try to challenge those thoughts and ask yourself if the thoughts is really true or if there is another way to look at the situation. Next step. And communication skill, when you are feeling angry, try to communicate your needs and feelings in clear and assertive way. Avoid using personal attack or blaming the other person. Then problem solving skill, if you are feeling angry because of problem, try to identify the problem, and actually what you have to do is brainstorming possible situation. So once you have a few solutions, evaluate them, choose the one that you think is the best. Next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable guidance. Now we will move further for the family counseling or family therapy, which is a branch of psychotherapy which focus on families to nurture change and development in the kids. संस्कृत में ऐसा कहा जाता है कि माता शत्रु पिता वैरी एन बलो न पथित न शोभते सभा मध्ये हंसा मधे बको यथा। अर्थात पिता माता जो अपने बच्चों को पढ़ाते नहीं है, जो अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं दे पाते हैं, वो बच्चों को शत्रु के समान है। विद्वानों की सभा में भी वो अनपढ़ है, जैसे हंसों के बीच बगुला है। So let's know the importance of family counseling from our esteemed panelist, Dr. Sultan. Over to you.
Thank you, Reena. As both Sanskrit quotes came from Tripti and Reena, here I'm giving another quote in English by our own Aristotle. Anybody can become angry. That is very easy. But be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right place, at the right time, with the right purpose, and in the right way is not in everybody's hand, and it is not easy. So we are trying to make it easy in this session. Next slide, please. So why we want a family dynamics and family therapy here in the counseling in the anger management? Because the anger impacts relationships and family dynamics. So our goals here are exploring the interactional dynamics of the family, mobilizing the family's internal strength and functional resources, restructuring the maladaptive interactional family styles, and strengthening the family's problem-solving behavior. Next, please. Here, we want to point some address. Identify the triggers and patterns of the anger outburst in each and every family member. Learn the strategies to manage and to cope up with the anger in a healthy way, as just now Tambulisa told us. We have to improve our communication skills by becoming an active listener first, and we should be having an assertive communication. We should have emotional regulation skills as told by Sangeeta ma'am and Tamburi sir as well as Shama ma'am now. We should have emotional self-awareness, emotional literacy, healthy coping strategies with the difficult emotions like sadness, frustration, and stress. Next. Here, we have to do some counseling about the healthy conflict resolution skills. So how we can change the conflict resolution skills in a healthy way? We have to learn as well as teach each and every person in the family about the empathy, about the negotiation skills, about the meditation as told by sir, about the patience and assertive communication. We have to do it in a very assertive manner, in a goal-directed, non-judgmental way, so that we should not hurt any person in the family. How to address the parenting styles here? We have to take a parenting session for the whole family together in the process of counseling. Here we're going to just take into consideration first how is the parenting style of both the parents as well as the grandparents who are there in the family. We have to talk with all the members together first. We have to decide to whom we have to focus more, who is the problematic and triggering person in the family, and as well as whom we have to teach to have patience. Reinforcement on becoming an emotional coach of our own self is very important. We have to realize and make them study about the constructive rethinking to improve our response to become angry or to become a constructive way, how to make the angry person calm also. We have to teach them mindfulness technique as told by sir right now. And we have to strengthen the family relationships by accepting each and person as a person separately and separate the anger from this person so that we can work well on the person as well as we can work well to decrease the anger level and control the anger of that person also. We have to ask, we have to teach each and every person in the family to become patient, to keep patience with the person who is having the anger. By doing it, we can just leave the situation as it is for some time. We can come over again back to talk with that person when that person is calming little bit, and then we can discuss openly with everyone. We have to discuss separately with each and every person in the family about their personality, their response and reactions with the other person's feelings and thoughts, and as well as we have to make changes in their feeling process and thought process so that they can react and respond well. Next. Here, I am completing this by saying it does not matter how big your home is, but it really matters if it is having a proper family bonding, love, and open communication in your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sulbha, for touching the important aspects of family counseling. And family counseling, yes, it's very important as it targets the whole relational system. As parents are important role models, ideal role models, whenever it is any situation, be it any emotion, be it any kind of behavior. And when it comes to family, nurturing the positive emotions and identifying and managing negative emotions effectively is important to improve the whole of the family dynamics. So thank you so much, everyone. This I announce that the session is concluded and the forum is open for questions now. But don't leave. We have very interesting video to play. I'll just share the video. Till then, you can put your questions in the chat box.
Please share the
Thank
video.
you so much. Yeah. Reena, will you take up the questions till then? Maybe one or two questions we can finish till I play the video. So the video is nothing but a snake and saw story, and what Dr. Ravindra Sunavane has enlightened us regarding anger versus letting go. So very powerful aspect of letting go, when it comes to anger. Letting go is not forgetting or suppressing the anger, but it's just losing the grip over the anger, so that anger will not hurt the person itself, himself or herself.
Do you know what?
Yeah, 1 second. Rina, I'll take 2-3 minutes. Will you take up 1 or 2 questions till then, so that we can save our time?
Just looking for the
Yeah.
questions. I'm not getting anything in the chat box.
I think I saw someone has raised the hand.
If anybody is having question, they can ask. Even if suppose they have not written in the chat box, if anybody is having any query, we panelists are here to just answer their question. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
just-
sharing. I'm sharing.
Yeah, no problem. We have finished the session in time, actually. That's great.
I want to share with you a powerful story about a snake and a saw. Before you question what a snake and a saw has to do with your life, it is about much more than a snake and a saw.
Actually, we can't see, huh? Now we can
What
see.
happened?
Is my screen now?
Yes,
It is now visible.
It's visible?
Yes, but start from first.
Yeah.
Now
because
visible.
you are doing,
I'll start it. I'll start it.
yeah, please, because we are doing YouTube live now, recording, so
No, some problem at my side. 1 second.
I want to share with you a powerful story about
Is it visible and audible?
yes.
a snake and a
Yes,
saw.
yes. Right.
Before you question what a snake and a saw have to do with your life, it is about much more than a snake and a saw. It's about what happens to us when we react. It's about what happens to us when we overreact. Emotion. What worries me? Turn around.
Tripti, you can just give a brief also with the video. You can just tell the story.
Oh, oh.
Tripti, will you please brief the story? Even that will be, I think, helpful for all of us to just understand the side effect of anger. Tripti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please stop the video and you can just tell the story in 1 minute. I think that will help to understand.
Yeah. Actually, the video will finish. The end part is very interesting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just play it for a while and then we'll.
Okay, no problem.
Only makes us son. The person we might want to son. When we react to anger, rather than with
Yeah. So I'll stop here. Yes. I think we can move further.
I think there is no question from the audience.
Yes, no question. Someone has only just told neutrality is also a very important part to just manage anger. And the story of the snake and the saw was self-explanatory. That I will just share the video link in our all the groups. So
There,
now I think we have finished in time, and I request.
there was one question
Yeah.
regarding mixed emotions, which I have written the answer. That basic emotions, when they are mixed, actually, like love and joy is equal to joy. Actually, what we can say, joy plus trust is equal to love. So that type of thing is there. How we can say about mixed emotions.
Yeah. Dr. Sanjay Ratnaparki sir has raised a hand. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Very interesting discussion. But one part which is very important, that is the somatization of anger. Anger is always having a somatic effect and is going to produce in our body here.
Yeah.
So this part, so whenever you are angry for some time, just even everybody can imagine for just for 1 second, just close the eyes, just for 1 second. Notice your breathing for some time. Feel your feet on the ground. And just for a moment, look into your body. Just for a moment, how you are doing. Take a deep breath and slowly release. This practice will be very, very helpful. Notice your shoulders, abdomen, thighs. And for a moment, think one of the angry situation you were in recent. And as you remember that event, this image which pops up in the mind, and your physiology is getting suddenly changed. You can sense it.
Yes.
You are sitting here, physiology is getting immediately changed. There may be some tightness in the chest, some tightness in the shoulder, and you can experience your own internal activation. Just be with that.
Yeah.
For some, it will be in the head. For some, it will be in the shoulders. For some, it will in the back. And for some, it will be in the feet. Just be with that for some time and be curious how you react to the angry situation, which was the past.
Yeah.
You will have your self realization of that. Authentically, just be aware.
Thank you, sir.
And as you be with your own anger, you will realize it was a defensive reaction which you had. And also, it happened many times. Then you will recognize your patterns of anger. How do you store in the body? Which may manifest as recurrent headaches or backache or pain in the calf muscles. Authentically be with yourself. Authentically. And just now, for a moment, imagine your best support person in your life. who was with your support throughout your life. Just imagine. Imagine the presence of support person just beside you with his or her hand on the shoulders. Stay with the experience. See what happens. Simply stay with the best supportive person in your life is close to you. And you can sense there is gradual dilution of that somatic effect. It is melting. And this melting may be happening through the feet as sweating or some tingling sensation. Your breathing become more expansive. You become authentic internally. And there is a sense of deactivation, a down regulation. Just give a sense of gratitude to that support person, thanking him or her for being in your life, and notice the change occurred just within a moment of time.
Very
And
nice.
just take some time to be with that emotion and see up regulation, down regulation practically, and open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Thank you. See
Sir,
what happened.
2 hours webinar equal to your 2 minutes meditation technique.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
It was wonderful sense that there is always
Practical.
somatization. We are not aware of it.
प्रैक्टिकल दिया सर ने बिल्कुल.
And sir,
Kudos,
Thank you. Thank
kudos.
you.
Sangeeta
Great
ma'am,
experience, sir.
and more comment I just want to add regarding the Sadachar Plutchik model. Actually, what I want to add is that anger means actually there are 3 stages, that annoyance, anger, and rage. So actually, we can prevent at each stage. And like in Tare Zameen Pe, that boy was reading, the teacher got angry. Then she told, what you want? So she gets more angry, and then she beat her. So actually, that annoyance, anger, and rage are 3 stages. So that you
Yes, sir.
have to stop at one stage, and that training, if you give properly to the adolescents or students, then it will even in for us also that is very useful. Thank you.
They can get the warnings at the earlier stage and get it
Yeah,
better
that's very
rather than going to the extreme stage. That is
yes.
the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I also mentioned regarding the trauma therapy, what sir is practicing. That is also working in these fields, basically.
And Sanjay sir has given excellent experience.
Explanation,
Thank
yeah.
you, sir.
Our
Thank you, sir.
beloved
Thank
Dr.
you, sir.
Sandhya Kharse, I can see on the screen. Sandhya Kharse, madam, are you there? Sandhya, madam? Sandhya, madam, are you there? Okay, actually, since long, madam has not just attended. Okay, so now this is the time for giving vote of thanks. I request our moderator to just proceed for giving vote of thanks, and thank you all the dignitaries and my attendees for just making this session a very successful, because we have crossed our Zoom link and many of them have just shifted to YouTube Live. Thank you all. Now, Dr. Reena or Dr. Tripti, who is going to give?
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. So to start with, I would like to thank today's chief guest, Dr. Shailaja Mane, madam, for giving your valuable time, being there throughout the session and giving your valuable inputs at the beginning of the session. Thank you so much, madam. I would like to thank Dr. Deepa Firke, madam, and Dr. Ravindra Sonawne, sir, today's guest of honor, for giving your valuable inputs and your time for the session. Next, I would like to thank today's panelists, Dr. Shama Kulkarni madam, Dr. Sangeeta Lodha madam, Dr. Suchit Tamboi sir, Dr. Sulbha Pawar, and Dr. Sadachar Ujramkar, for giving valuable insights regarding EQ essentials in anger management to our delegates and making the program successful. Then I would like to thank Geeta Patil madam, Dr. Amol Pawar sir, Dr. Hima Bindu madam, Dr. Sandhya Kharse madam, Dr. Sanjay Ratnaparki, and all other dignitaries for being there for today's session.
Yeah.
And being a moderator of the session, I would like to thank my co-moderator as well, Dr. Reena Rathi, for her significant contribution for the session. And then Team WPF. So thank you, Chairperson Dr. Sangeeta Lodha Madam, Secretary Dr. Anuradha Madam, Dr. Hima Bindu Madam, and whole of the office bearers of WPF Forum for giving us this fantastic opportunity on this fantastic forum. And in the end, thank you all the delegates for being patient listeners of the session. Thank you so much.
Our President-elect, Dr. Madhuraturi Madam is also, I can see on the screen, Madam, just jate jate do shabd, yeah, just tagline for this today's webinar. And then we will stop the session.
Hip hip hooray for Team Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
evening, everyone. Fantastic and superb. हमारे जो सितारे हैं वो बिल्कुल चमक रहे हैं, बहुत चमकते वाले सितारे हैं. All the youngsters, they are doing so wonderful. I feel so proud of them whenever I see. Even at Jaipur, we have a team, a brigade of youngsters, and they are the future.
Yes.
That is what I would like to tell. Tripti is so good. You showed that Cobra. It's fantastic. I sent a message to you. Okay. So nice. Each one did their job fantastically.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations.
Madam.
Fabulous.
Amazing
You know?
session. Congratulations. all.
Shailaja Mane Madam, you want to say something? Dr. Geeta Patil Madam?
Shailaja.
Dr. Geeta Patil Madam, can you hear me? If you want to give your blessings? Yeah. Geeta Patil Madam, are you there? No, I think, yeah. So shall I stop the session? Thank you all for joining once
Yes,
again.
Thank you,
Thank
Sanjay
you.
sir,
With a
for the
new
mini meditation.
webinar with a new
Thank you.
stay
Thank
of
you, everyone.
WPL. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Tripti.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all the contestants for just